angry, so angry. Don't get the black kids angry.
If you run a public establishment of any kind, you are very vulnerable to the slanderous and libelous claims from the fellas and lovely ladies who say you hate black people just because you did not give them everything they wanted, especially lots of free stuff. Let's start down in Houston.
Accusations of racial profiling tonight against a restaurant out in Cyprus. A young woman making the claim says it all started with the restaurant's tipping policy. She says her and her friends were targeted because they're black, but the restaurant says race had nothing to do with it. You saw it first on 2 at 5 o'clock. Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli is back now with more on this story. Vincent?
Jonathan, good afternoon. The woman I spoke with is frustrated and upset, but the restaurant's manager says members of the group she was with frequently don't tip.
A 5-year degree.
Brittany Blakeney just graduated from Prairie View University.
It was really important for me to finish, especially from the example that my mom set for me.
She wanted to celebrate with some friends at Locatelli's in Cyprus, but the festivities turned sour.
It was really shocking because I've never experienced anything like that.
Blakeney claims she and 5 friends were racially profiled by their server.
He basically said black students from Prairie View don't tip.
Blakeney says the server told the group he would add a 15% gratuity to their bill. Blakeney says she became upset and asked to speak with the manager, but the manager defended the server and then told her to leave.
All eyes was on us as we were getting escorted out of the restaurant, threatened to call the police on.
General Manager Carrie Salazar tells a very different story.
Our servers only make $2.13 an hour.
She says it was not about race, but a concern about whether the group would tip.
It's very frustrating for the servers because that's the way that they make their income.
So Salazar wanted to protect her servers by adding 15% gratuity to the group of 6. It's a policy on the books, but not always enforced. Then she claims Blakeney insulted her.
She graduated as an engineer and she makes twice as much money as I do.
Then Salazar says Blakeney started to cuss in the restaurant filled with families.
I just realized that the situation was not going to be diffused unless I just asked her to simply leave the restaurant.
And this situation is definitely murky, but Salazar wants to extend an olive branch. She says that Blakeney is welcome back to the restaurant.
To their credit, the people of Houston, after seeing this story, flooded the station with emails going, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? Why are you libeling, slandering that business owner just because some fellas and lovely ladies want some free stuff when they're not acting very nicely? So after the story came out, the restaurant, I think the restaurant produced this, and they talked about the history this group had coming in, not tipping, demanding free drinks, refusing to accept 15% gratuity for parties of 6 or more. They began arguing about the 15%, lots and lots of obscenities flying back and forth. No, the fellas do not like it when the manager comes over and refuses to give in to their extortionate demands. That's what's happening here. Too bad there's no audio on this. We'd hear lots and lots of, you F this, you F that, you don't like us because we're black kind of stuff. So after being accused of the worst thing you can accuse someone of in this country, an accusation for which there is no defense, the restaurant produced this video with their own defense, which is no defense, saying, no, the way they said it never really happened. And now the TV station is trying to tell us, well, it's just a he said, she said, so we thought we would present both sides. You could accuse somebody of pedophilia with as much evidence as these people had of accusing the restaurant of racism. There is no defense if someone accuses you of pedophilia. There is no defense if someone accuses you of racism unless you want to hire a law firm, take them to court and sue them for slander, libel, et cetera, which is what Oberlin College did when they won $44 million last week. When the bakery sued Oberlin College, when Oberlin made the same kind of allegations against this small town restaurant after they refused to drop charges of shoplifting against a fella and 2 lovely ladies who, after they were caught shoplifting, proceeded to beat the hell out of the store managers. Apparently Houston is not the only place where restaurant managers are very, very, very bad people, always picking on the fellas for no reason whatsoever. Let's head down to Fort Mill and let's meet the Fort Mill 16, the latest victims of relentless white racism, relentless black victimization all the time, everywhere. That explains everything, especially why black people can't get everything they want exactly as they want it 100% of the time when they go into a restaurant.
No justice?
No peace.
What color y'all money?
Green! What my shirt say? Green!
All right.
We are not just angry. We are absolutely mad, okay? Because we were treated wrong. And just Steve could have stopped this before it got to this point. But he chose not to. He chose not to because Steve condoned what happened.
We had a large group about June 1st come here for dinner. They signed in for 16, then went to 18, and then they wanted to be seated. The party was not complete at the time. We told the group that they cannot be sat until the party is complete. They agreed they wanted to sit down, and we explained to them once they sat down, the other group will not be able to join them at the time. One thing led to another. It got real loud in here and screaming and pointing fingers and everything else. I asked the group to leave. As they were leaving, they were, saying a lot of cuss words, screaming to the top of their lungs, saying their money is green like ours, so on and so forth, and I asked the police officer to escort him out.
And he took his time. He ain't yet apologized. All Steve had to do was just come out and tell those waitresses to seat 16 people. It's not about the 16 people today. It ain't even about the black dollar today. It's about Steve, the owner, say, get out of here and go home.
We've been here 23 years. We see no color. We're here to take care of all of our customers, and that it shows. Like I said, we've been part of this community for over 23 years. It speaks for itself. The reason I asked them to leave because they were disturbing the 300 plus customers we had here that night, and we had a line at the door, as you can see on the video.
I said, sir, it's my daddy's 72nd birthday. All he want to do is come here and eat his fish on his birthday. Because we got a birthday club. I say he hungry, he's sick, he tired, my uncle hungry, they sick, they tired. Said they fed us, we've been outside for an hour. It's hot. All we want to do is sit down and eat. My daddy is hungry. The birthday club, he chose where he wanted to go. It was Captain Steve. Was it our favorite? No. But that's where he wanted to go. All 16 of us choose where we want to go. So I pleaded with this man. And I'm going to be the first to say I'm ashamed of myself for pleading with somebody to let me sit down in 2019. But just move 2 shelves. I mean, all you got to do is move 2 shelves and see us. Okay? Now, wait a minute. But he just wouldn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? So I am blaming Steve. I'm not blaming the waitress. I'm not blaming the hostess. I'm only blaming Steve because he's yet to come out and apologize or say anything.
Let's watch a story from a nail salon, one we've seen over 100 times. And of the 100 times we've seen this story, probably 10 of them resulted in demonstrations outside of the nail salon, the fellas and lovely ladies demanding that the Asians go out of business because the Asians are always picking on the fellas and lovely ladies who somehow don't feel like paying for services rendered. But let's watch this and let's take a little twist on it afterwards.
Only on 2, she was giving a manicure but ended up getting maced. A nail salon worker sprayed with pepper spray. Now, police are looking for this customer behind this stinging attack.
It is a place where people go to relax, get pampered, but things got tense fast at this nail salon on Houston's South Side when that customer pulled out her pepper spray.
It was an attack that was caught on camera. Our Brittany Jeffers joining us live at that salon on Scott Street, and Brittany spoke with the victim's daughter, only on 2. Brittany?
Yeah, we spoke with them and we found out that the owner was sitting right here. This is her usual spot. She said she was painting nails when she was assaulted in front of a room full of customers. burning and stinging after pepper spray shot straight to the eyes.
I was outraged because my mom, she's such a hardworking woman.
Vicky Ton says that the woman seen being sprayed on this surveillance video is the owner of the nail salon, her mother, Min Win.
She's gotten robbed before, and it's just sad, and anyone can do that.
Vicky says that on Wednesday afternoon, 2 women walked into the salon to get their nails done. The first woman paid and left, but then came back.
And she came in through the door and kind of peeked through, opened the door and kind of waved to her friend that was getting her nails done by my mom.
It was then that the customer pulled her hands away, pulled out the spray, and then dashed out the door in front of a room full of customers.
My mom kind of thought it was suspicious with those 2 in the beginning when they came in.
Vicky says that both customers appeared nervous and were looking over their shoulders. She says that her mother recognized one of the women. She says that she'd been in the salon before, and now she hopes someone else will report her to police.
If you guys, anybody seen her, know her, to, let them know, because she could be doing this to other shops, other stores.
So the story we just saw was out of Houston, the same station that did the first story, where they basically accused the restaurant owners of being very, 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 very bad people. You could have done the same treatment to this story. It's all up to the station. So they're sitting there trying to pretend like, well, we're just doing the news. We're doing he said, she said. No, you could have done the same thing here on the pepper spray. You could have started out by saying, a nail salon customer unhappy with her service, unhappy with the way she was treated by the, foreign business owner, reacted with pepper spray after the business owner threatened her and asked her to pay for services. The business owner said, denied all the allegations, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could just do that all night and all day on every single story you do. It's up to you.
Please, sir. I want some more.
And it's up to you when you do a story like this, whether you're doing a real story or whether you're just doing a story about people who just don't want to make the black kids angry.